But now I don't see those cobbles and curbs. I don't hear the blues anymore.
Rough Trade is giving away a third of the first 3 months of the Rough Trade Club plus new music membership exclusively to 101 Part-Time Jobs listeners. Become a member of Rough Trade Club New Music and you'll receive the Rough Trade Album of the Month straight to your door every month on exclusive vinyl pressing with exclusive bonus material. Club members have received exclusive pressings of albums from Sufjan Stevens, Sprints, The Last Dinner Party, Julie Byrne, and Over Mono, just to name a few, this past year alone. Sign up using the promo code CLUB101POD and you'll get the Rough Trade Album of the Month, English Teacher's excellent debut album, This Could Be Texas, on exclusive Galaxy Gold for a third of the usual price. Here's English Teacher on a recent episode of 101.
How many opportunities do you get to write a debut album and have all of this, sport behind us? I don't know. I really like the idea of holding the bar as being like classic songs.
You only get one shot at a debut.
Don't want the album of the month but still want all the benefits? Sign up to the standard tier using Club 101 Pod and you'll still get the first month free. You'll also get free shipping on all orders, 10% off the bar and on secondhand vinyl in store, and exclusive access to sold out Rough Trade events. So don't hang around. Go to roughtrade.com/club and sign up with the code CLUB101POD. That's CLUB101POD and claim money off the album of the month, English Teachers This Could Be Texas, today. This offer's available to UK residents only. Do you play in bands? I did for the longest time. And I wish that I knew that DistroKid was a thing. I don't even think it existed back then. DistroKid makes music distribution fun and easy with unlimited uploads, and artists keep 100% of your royalties and earnings. 1 million plus artists rely on DistroKid to get their music on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, TikTok, Tidal, Instagram, and all the major streaming services. When you get DistroKid, you can see a DistroKid bank and withdraw your earnings. You get notified when you've earned royalties and you can withdraw via the app. And you can even check your streaming stats on Spotify and Apple. Get 30% off your first year on DistroKid by going to distrokid.com/VIP/101pod. 30% off for your first year. That's not bad. We know it's a tough world out there. Why don't you make it easier for yourself? And to get 30% off that free year as an artist, where you get 100% of your royalties and earnings, go to distrokid.com/VIP/101pod. All right, stay with me. I'll be right back after this.
The secret's oat for nourishing your sensitive skin. Start each day with Aveeno's Daily Moisturizing Body Wash in the shower, which gently cleanses and doesn't dry out your skin. Then slather on the Daily Moisturizing Body Lotion for 24 hours of clinically proven hydration. This powerful combo gives you 2 times the moisture in 2 easy steps, thanks to both nourishing oat formulas. Get softer, smoother skin and shop Aveeno now at Target.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woo-hooer, a hand clapper, a high-fiver? I kind of like the high-five, but if you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. At ChumbaCasino.com, choose from hundreds of social casino-style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses, so don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
I'm Tiger.
I'm Felix. We're in
Divorce.
And we're here at Rough Trade East.
101 Part-Time Jobs podcast. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, we love you.
Okay, it's 101 Part-Time Jobs. I'm Giles Bidder, and on Saturday, me and the team were at Rough Trade East. It was Record Store Day 2024. We spoke to some excellent artists that were playing there that day, including Divorce. Felix and Tiger did a stripped back set, and we spoke to them just backstage before they played. Here's our chat. They've got a new single out called Gears. I highly recommend it. If you don't know this band, go and change that immediately. Here's Tiger and Felix from Divorce, from Record Store Day at Rough Trade East. Tiger, Felix, we're at Record Store Day.
Hi.
Rough Trade East.
Yes.
Record Store Day 2024. Record Shop Day to some. Depends how kind of British you want to remain.
We're kind of neutral on that. Record store day is fine. We're not precious.
Neutral Milk Hotel.
Exactly. We are that band. We're not that band.
What was the first record you remember buying for yourself? The first LP?
I bought Cabaret, the soundtrack to the film, from a place called Rob's Records in Nottingham, which is like really, really stocked to the nines. And it's like nothing's in any kind of order. It's a big mess, really, but it's an amazing shop. And I bought that from there, and I didn't know anything about records, and it was really scratched, and it just didn't really work. But
that's the beautiful thing. I feel like I don't know much about records, even though I spend most of my day listening to stuff. And that's kind of the thing about music, is there's just always going to be more than you'll ever be able to know. What's your way of getting through that feeling and making that potentially overwhelming feeling a good one?
Well, I think...
Easy question.
I think, for me, I always find records through other artists, really, usually. It's like if I kind of like to know, who's working on what records and stuff.
Producers and engineers. I find that really interesting. Studios.
And then, you kind of end up looking at who they work with, who they're inspired by, and then watching interviews and things, and
And Divorce becoming a pretty full-time thing. I mean, it looks full-time on the. How is that kind of? You're putting, presumably, you tell me, but you're putting more time and thought, energy, brain work into music and what different stuff sounds like and what you like and what you can envision for Divorce. Have you found a kind of routine or a kind of discipline of reaching out beyond what you'd usually try and listen to?
I've been eternally insecure about this, actually. I'm really not that good at finding new music. I'm very comfort oriented with music, but I will obviously on occasion find something that blows my mind and I get obsessed with.
Well, you're not alone. I mean, I think a lot of people have that. We do listen to records that we know, and to go outside of our... I think that's what people say when they say go outside your comfort zone.
Well, I think it's really important to not give yourself a hard time in that sense. And if you are drawing inspiration from a smaller pool of records or whatever, your art form is, that's okay. And really... it's not about forcing it. And I think for a long time I was trying to get into things quickly because I felt like I'd wasted so much time not finding new music that I was I like this and I like this and I like this. And actually I didn't like a lot of the stuff that I'd kind of haphazardly got together.
But also when you're sharing a van all the time, as we are, we end up kind of influencing each other's listening habits. So and the four of us listen to pretty wildly eclectic stuff. So there's always kind of new things that you end up finding whilst on tour, or Casper's been a good one for me at opening up my palette a little bit.
Casper's a DJ at Bodega in Nottingham, and he's kind of a legend, and he has such a wide eclectic pot of music that he just puts on. He will rarely put the same song on in the van, and it will span the genres as well.
What's been the biggest? He's good at finding nice, happy things to listen to as well. Because if it weren't for Casper, I'd just listen to horrible, sad music.
What's been the biggest surprise?
He put on a Beck tune the other day. I've never much been I can't say that I wasn't into Beck. I just hadn't explored it.
Yeah.
And now I'm I would like to listen to Beck.
Yeah.
He puts on all kinds of things. Casper loves Jamiroquai.
Hell yeah.
He loves Jamiroquai. They're his childhood. I don't want to say it defines his music taste, but we've listened to quite a lot of Jamiroquai in the band because of Casper.
Well, Jamiroquai, there's a lot of, as a younger person, and maybe 10 years ago, I would have been I'm not a fashionable person. Fashion doesn't interest me. But of course, fashion goes into everything that you do, whether you know it or not. Jamiroquai is a great example of that, because Jamiroquai's aesthetic is a part of the music. When you listen to those songs, you're looking at the artwork, you're looking at the photos, you're looking at the hat.
The hat, yeah.
Iconic. Overused word, iconic, but it really is. I think it deserves it.
Yeah. Later on, the choice of headwear for Jay I can't abide by. his wrist's not good. But the big hat that he wore in like the 90s was pretty sly.
You are so busy. Divorce is doing so much. How are you finding that on personal levels?
Yeah, I think like it's been really good. I don't know. I think we're a very good team in terms of keeping each other well and like okay, even though it can be overwhelming at times. But ultimately, I think also we've been working for this opportunity to be really busy for years and years when, you know, at times it was really not busy at all. And if it was busy, it was just because like we were just doing insane things to try and be busy. Stuff we're getting to do is really fun and like...
And you're putting out music pretty consistently. It feels like you're putting out a single every few months. Yeah. And as a band now, there's so many things you can do. You can put out records in different ways, music videos. There's like a lot beyond the music. There's a lot that goes into the vision of that.
I feel like Divorce is still quite a young band. We're kind of following the formula at the moment because the formula is a lot of work, like music videos, recording, touring, takes up a lot of time. But I can totally see us going into other art forms at some point, like in the way that cool creative people kind of inevitably end up doing. It'd be great to make a documentary about something that we do.
Yeah.
I don't know. We know lots of really talented like photographers and cinematographers as well. And it'd be great to work with them. I think that's like personally something I would love to do.
And they're at our kind of disposal now, cameras and people who go to art school will have, you know, projectors and just ways, parties. You know what I often think is I think there needs to be more parties, more physical things to go to. And I don't mean parties for party's sake, just to get drunk or whatever, but like actually go see some music and be somewhere physical.
Yeah.
Because that's just pretty, I think that's pretty radical to do actually now.
Yeah, I think it's harder and harder to get people in one place all kind of doing a similar thing because everyone is incredibly busy and I don't know, everyone does things through their phones very easily, so it's hard to entice people out. But I've always been kind of interested in doing something kind of like longer form than like in a live sense, that is like
a 24-hour gig.
Marathon gig.
Yeah.
I think it's like interesting. I feel like what you described is what I sort of imagined before I was in music, like a scene would be. But I don't know if we've ever been much of a scene band. Like we've been a band in the Nottingham scene, but the Nottingham scene, it's small. It definitely does do things like what you've described. But I think us as a band haven't personally been involved with a lot of stuff like that. And I think it's like, it's very community based and like, I love the idea of it, but I think it's been difficult. Like we're post COVID, it's just hard to get things like that together. But yeah,
it comes in waves, and it depends on the like people. It takes a couple of people to be really interactive, really engaged, and like book out the venue, for example. And then those people move out of town. It's just scenes come in waves.
Yeah,
scenes are pretty fluid.
Yeah, I think also just because where we've been life-wise, especially the two of us, over the last like 2-3 years since we started the band, like I don't know, we don't. Neither of us are people who like stay in one place for very long.
Your van keeps on breaking down.
Van keeps breaking down, which makes it easier to stay in one place.
We can't talk about the van. Curse.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, we've lifted the curse. We've had like we get tagged in a lot of spellcaster posts about divorce because they think it's not a good thing.
Felix Tiger, thank you very much. 101 Part-Time Jobs.
Thank you.
I've spoken to you a few times before, and we talked a lot about your jobs as a gardener.
Yep.
And various things to do with the theatre and being around Nottingham. Are there any jobs you haven't told me about? Are there any jobs that really, you know, you don't want to think about and now I'm going to irk out of you?
Jobs?
Yeah.
What is the weirdest job? I worked in an opticians.
Yeah.
Did I tell you that?
No.
Oh yeah.
That was... I like wore glasses. I don't need glasses. But the optician was convinced that it would make people trust me.
So you got the job, and you're not as a non-glasses wearing person.
I have very good eyesight.
You got very good eyesight, and so
very lucky.
Did your boss say, Tiger,
it
here's
was-
a pair of glasses that you should wear.
No, it
while on
wasn't as
shift.
straightforward as that, and I'm not going to name my boss or the opticians that I worked
don't do that
at
here.
because I don't think it was. I was young as well, and I was on board with it. The glasses. I liked them a lot as well. I wanted an excuse to wear them. But I regret it. I regret the decision. I duped people into thinking I was wise to what it feels like to have bad eyesight.
I used to get the 3D glasses from the cinema and take the lenses out of them and wear them at school. That was like
That is
really
cool.
in. Did you do that?
That was, and you'd have a T-shirt that said "geek" on it as well. If anyone remembers
You wear
that,
bowling
and like
shoes.
the sort of side fringe. Bowling shoes, no.
No.
They've never really had a moment.
Not for me. Never had bowling shoes. I worked for a company selling flower subscriptions door to door. That was kind of horrible. They liked the sell, and I wasn't very good at the sell. It was a really odd job, and they'd kind of follow us around and try and tell us how our pictures could be better.
Micromanage.
Yeah, really micromanaging, and the pay was bad. The pay was really bad. They were like, oh yeah, there's no minimum. You don't get a minimum thing. It's just commission after the first couple of weeks, which is pretty awful. Yeah, that was London.
Character building.
Yeah, pretty bad. Pretty bad.
Thank you very much. 101 Part-Time Jobs, Record Store Day 2024. Divorce on 101 Part-Time Jobs. That was them from Record Store Day at Rough Trade East. Thanks to Rough Trade for having us. A lot of the records that were put out specially for Record Store Day, you can still buy at Rough Trade. There are going to be a few left over this week, so if there was something that you saw was coming out that you had your eye on, chances are there still might be a few flying around. So head to Rough Trade, browse the Record Store Day selection and pick your fancy. All right, we got a couple more left, including Miles Kane, Dog Unit, and also Juno Dream. So stick around for those. Should be releasing them in the next hour. Later this day, it's the 22nd of April. We've also got a reel coming up on Instagram. Check us out at 101 Part-Time Jobs Pod, on TikTok as well, and also on YouTube. So you search 101 Part-Time Jobs there, and you can find our videos. Thanks to Nick and Olivia, who have recently joined the team. And thank you for listening.
With Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to... Has anyone seen the bride and groom?
Sorry, we're here. We were getting lucky in the limo and we lost track of time.
No, Lucky Land Casino, with cash prizes that add up quicker than a guest registry.
In that case, I pronounce you lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Daily bonuses are waiting. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.